who wants to go first?
Here we go. Right. Okay. Yeah. So today we're going to be playing Kurishan's Garden. It's a 3rd edition module. But before we start, if each of you just introduce yourself, if we can start with we'll start with Carl, if you will. You're Dwarf Druid of the Moon, I believe.
Yes, that is correct. His name is Seamus Longbeard. Not much to tell about him. As a child, he was always more sort of interested in the outside world and nature rather than his little hill dwelling that he lived in with his family. He was eventually kicked out by his family because he just didn't take any interest in sort of anything the family had, and they were very strict. So sort of left and went off to live in the wilderness, where he made friends with all of the natural beings out in the world, and just sort of was a little bit of an isolated person, really.
So how long has he been living out on his own for? Quite a while.
About 12 years now. Yeah, he's relatively young, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, he's been about 12 years he's been living in the wilderness on his own.
Oh, okay. So perhaps a little bit eccentric then, or...
Yeah. Think of, was it the Brown Wizard from Lord of the Rings?
Radagast.
Oh, Radagast, yeah,
Radagast.
Excellent. So he's got matted hair and squirrels living in it, has he?
Pretty much.
Excellent, I like that. That's cool. Okay, Steve, if you want to tell us about your Halfling Rogue.
Yeah, I'm playing Ross, a Halfling Rogue, who was from the Eastern Lands. Very much so, a thief. Got herself a good name for him as breaking in, lockpicking, entering, taking a job for a decent amount of coin. Would always take his own fair share, not tell the others, and sort of got a bit underhanded with it. Started to get chased sort of out of town. Managed to commandeer himself a ship. Came across with a little ragtag band who then sort of mutinied against him, and now he's here trying to make a name for himself in the new area.
Oh, so he's escaping the troubles of his past and trying to looking for a bit of retribution and that. Try not to fall into his old ways.
He's going to attempt it.
Let's see how it goes.
He's going to attempt it.
Nice
he does like a sparkly thing.
Oh, okay. Well, there might be some of those. Let's have a look. Lee, you're an elf monk.
I am. I'm a wood elf monk.
Wood elf.
Patient.
Is that your name, or is that...
Wrath the Patient is...
Wrath the Patient.
Neutral, because he doesn't really bond with people. He's about 200 years into his years, looking to more in the world, as he's been locked away for a few years trying to seek his upstanding in the monk. Walks around with his quarterstaff, makes himself look old and frail.
Oh, okay. Is that a bit of an illusion? Is it to keep people away?
It's to try and avoid confrontation if he can.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he's a bit of a recluse.
Yes, he's a hermit.
Oh, he's a hermit. Okay, cool. Some unusual characters coming out tonight then. And so Craig, Half Orc Barbarian, is that right?
Indeed it is. I am playing the mock hero tonight. Half Orc Barbarian, abandoned by his orc tribe due to his pale skin.
Oh, okay.
Taken in by a small band of humans who raised him until he was about 25, until the orcs attacked the village and killed everything while he was out hunting. And after seeing the destruction and devastation, something stirred inside him, and he sort of woke up from a haze to find the bodies of all the orcs around him. And what he'd seen had scared him that much that he fled off into the forest, and he's been living there for the last 10 years, trying to hide from it ever since. But you know, something deep down is still there.
He's got the haunted background as well, hasn't he? From
Yeah.
Is that one of the ones from Curse of Strahd? Is it or?
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
It seemed to fit quite well.
Yeah,
It was
I haven't read that one before. The description sounded really cool. I liked it. That was excellent. What's his name?
It's got some Mockeral.
Mockeral. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, guys. Right. I'll read the description that's on the back of the module. You might have seen it in the intro anyway, or on the event thing. So it says the module's called Kurishan's Garden. It's by Ken Carpenter, I should say. And the description goes: as you take a well-deserved break in a city that seems friendly enough, you quickly notice an unusual amount of activity around the marketplace, as well as the unreasonable cost for meals at every inn. You soon discover that many food items have become scarce in the city, causing prices for those goods to soar and creating mild panic among the population. Having heard of your party of bold adventurers, Marek, the leader among the local merchants, approaches you on behalf of his fellows. Over the past few years, Marek explains, our fair city has become dependent upon a village named Darbin, about 5 days' travel to the west. The village's farms yield a great harvest each year, and they have become a major supplier of our city's fruits and vegetables. The problem is this: no deliveries have been made by the farmers of Darbin in over 2 months. Twice messengers have been sent to Darbin, but neither has returned. Their seasonal harvest should be complete by now, yet not one wagon has appeared. If they don't send their goods soon, we will have to cast our nets farther abroad and pay even higher sums to meet the demands of our citizens. We ask that you go to Darbin and speak with Brocknath, the head of the village's farmers, and find out what needs to be done to rectify the situation. A few of us have collected what we hope is a reasonable sum of payment for your services. Please accept our offer. We need your help. Okay.
Cool.
So that's how the module's kind of sold. That's your kind of thing to get into it. And then you'll find yourselves on the road into Darbin. You've agreed to take your payment, I presume, or you can stay in the city and just get drunk. It's up to you. assuming you've accepted the invitation to help the citizens of the city, it says, "Welcome to Darbin. As you top the low hills at the northeast edge of the valley, home of Darbin, you notice the beautiful valley and lush green foliage. Journeying deep into the valley, you see fields and orchards of vegetables and fruits, all of which seem very ripe. If they are not harvested soon, the crops will be worthless. Finally, you reach a small rise and look down upon the village. What should appear as a rustic, even quaint farming village, instead gives you a sense of foreboding. The streets are overgrown with grass and shrubs, and many of the buildings, though in good condition, are surrounded with brush and overgrown with vines, as if having been abandoned for years. In the distance, at the southern end of town, you can see a large and beautiful garden." Okay. Could you all roll perception for me quickly?
19.
Oh,
25.
I think I wasted my good rolls on the character that I've just rolled in. I got a 6.
Okay.
I got 8.
8. And you got 19, Steve? Yeah.
19, yeah.
Carl, what did you get?
25.
25. Wow.
What the hell?
Okay. So you and Steve both notice in the distance. So you're on the edge of the village. You're looking into the village. You can see a few sort of scattered buildings, and I'll describe them all to you in a sec if you want to know. But just kind of in the centre of the village, quite a way off from you, probably a quarter of a mile or so, just darting between a couple of the buildings, you see a figure. And almost as soon as you notice it, it's kind of gone back behind a building again.
Intriguing.
And I messed up that. It's actually a 13 for me.
Cool. So what was it that dashed away?
You've noticed a figure in the distance. It was a bit too far away to really see what it was. Kind of as soon as you saw the movement and recognised it as a human or humanoid, it's kind of gone again behind a building. So you're standing at the northeast end of this village. There's probably about, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 buildings sort of scattered around, various sort of different kind of states of disrepair. But what you notice more than anything is the village is really overgrown. Lots of vegetation, lots of vines and creepers over the buildings. There's a small rock hut is the closest building to you, and that's just on your left. There's a kind of a log cabin behind that a little bit, and as you get more into the centre of the village, there's a crossroads with some other buildings there as well.
Oh, well, I guess we can sort of head towards the crossroads, but I'll keep an eye out on the place where we saw the person dash away.
Okay. So you want to walk in towards the centre of the village, past the stone.
Yeah.
There's a small rock hut on your left. There's kind of a log cabin. There's a small wooden shack, and there's more of a sort of on the actual crossroads itself. There's kind of a stone farmhouse. And then the other side of the crossroads, you can see where the pub kind of used to be. There's some stables that are set back a little bit further. There's a kind of a big farmhouse as well down a drive. There's all kinds of sort of buildings around. It's quite overgrown, and it seems really quite eerie. You can't hear any animals or birds or anything like that.
Cool. And I'd sort of maybe head towards the pub then, or what used to be the pub. Where's a good place to start?
Yeah, towards the sort of crossroads and see if we can get bearings there with the pub being right next to it.
Okay. So yeah, so you walk towards.
Say to the others that there's like, keep your eyes peeled, guide. I see a figure down there.
So let me show you the quick. If I can, I'll hold this up to the screen. Hopefully, you guys will be able to see it. Where are we? Don't know if that helps at all, does it?
Is that the pub at the north?
So you are down this end.
Yeah.
The crossroads is in the centre here.
Yep.
So yeah. So the pub is one of the large buildings on the crossroads there. So you've walked past. You've walked past maybe 2 or 3 houses on either side, and there's a pub as well.
Okay, we can possibly head in towards one of the larger buildings to see if there's anyone about.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
So you've got a small wooden shack on one side. You've got a sort of stone-faced farmhouse to your right. You've got the pub on the other side of the crossroads. We'll set back a bit further. You've got a farmhouse and a stables.
What do you say to the pub or the farmhouse?
I'd go farmhouse.
Yeah, okay. So the farmhouse is set back a little bit, down a little lane. Are you just going to walk up to it? How do you want to approach it?
I'm going to carry my halberd out in front of me, ready.
Have I? What level's this rogue? I haven't got a hidden thing yet. Yeah, I'm happy to just sort of walk up with my hand on my short sword, not drawn or anything.
I'll skip up to it.
Okay. There's quite a lot of foliage in front of this particular farmhouse. It's kind of overgrown. The vines have gone up all around the side of the building, and there's quite long grass. As you approach it, you kind of sort of see a movement in the grass. You can't see what's made it, but the grass is kind of moving in an unusual way. Okay,
can I go and investigate the weird movement, see if I can identify what's causing it?
Yeah, if you give us a survival check.
It'll be a 14.
14. So you sort of get down on your hands and knees, and you sort of get down towards grass level, and you're kind of looking at it a little bit, and sort of trying to work out what's coming. And as you're sort of crawling around in the grass, you sort of see a vine kind of moving towards you, and as it gets closer, it kind of starts to wrap itself around your hand, and you sort of notice immediately this can't be right. These plants are moving, and as you kind of look at it, it curls back with its kind of barbed end of itself, like a snake in an S shape, ready to strike you. Roll for initiative.
8.
14.
I have a wonderful, hang on a second, 6.
17.
Ooh, 17. Okay. So the brain vine rolled 18. So it lunges back to make an attack at you. And 12 to hit.
12 will hit.
12's a hit. Okay.
Yeah, but 12. Hit on 12. 12.
Okay, and it does 4 damage.
Cool.
Okay. Can you roll a Constitution saving throw?
That'll be an 11.
11 is a fail. So as the vine sort of curls back in its S shape, it kind of a tiny little. It's not really a mouth as such, but it's got kind of barbs on it, and it kind of lashes and hits you square on the neck. And instead of sort of striking and coming away, it's sort of stuck on your neck, and you feel. Although you've got your senses, you can see and you can smell. You seem to not be able to talk or move. And just for this moment, you're paralysed for a second. So this vine has attached itself to your neck, and you are currently paralysed. Which means that Craig is up next.
Someone just walked in behind Craig.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Sorry, it's the missus. 2 seconds.
That's okay. Steve, do you want to go?
Well, guys, I think we know where the people went.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of forgot to roll my height and weight on this,
That's okay.
so I just did it quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a 5'9", 200-pound wood elf.
Wow. It's good living.
Sorry.
Good living as a hermit. Okay, so
Can you hear me all right, by the way?
yeah, we can hear you. So, Mokoral, you're kind of standing there, and you've noticed that your companion, Seamus, has kind of gone down on the grass here. He's crawling around on his hands and knees, and something seems to have grabbed hold of him, and he's lying sort of paralysed on the floor at the minute, with this rather large vine attached to the back of his head.
I'll walk up to him muttering.
Yeah.
Unusual looking weed. Can I swing my halberd at it, the vine?
You can, yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
D&D's famous last words.
Yeah, exactly. 23.
23, yeah, is a hit, easy hit.
Everyone. 10. Wow, 2 points of damage.
2. Oh. So yeah, you've hit it. You took a massive slice off it, but it's still hanging on there by the smallest amount, but it's still there. So Ross, the Halfling Rogue, is up next.
Can we see whether what this vine is attached to, or is it just the vine that we can see?
All you can see at the moment is this vine sort of trailing off into the long grass towards the house, but there's quite a lot of other foliage around, big bushes and all sorts. It's kind of trailing off towards all that.
In that case, I will try and free Seamus and clear it off him.
Okay.
Take my short sword and roll a 2.
A 2 is a miss. So I think you draw your short sword and trip over your own feet in this long grass. It is particularly quite long. So you stumble as you swing, and you miss the vine.
This is why a halfling sucks in tall grass.
Okay, Raph the patient, patiently waiting till last. You're up.
Bash it with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
Not with a 7.
No, that's a miss as well.
I rolled a natural 2.
That's a miss as well. Okay, so the vine remains attached.
Oh, I forgot to turn the plug all on for the laptop. 1 minute.
Off to a great start.
Yeah, currently paralysed on the first encounter. Okay, so the vine remains stuck to the back of Seamus's head, and as he's lying there, 2 more vines come out from the undergrowth, and one moves to attack. One moves to attack Ross, rolling 13.
It's a miss.
That's a miss. And the second move into Raph, the patient, and that's 18.
That hits.
That hits. Okay. It does 5 damage, 5 piercing damage,
Okay.
and if you can roll a Constitution save.
1 second, just minusing the 5 damage. Con save. 20 total.
20 is a save, yeah. So you feel it starting to attach to the back of your neck, and you manage to grab hold of it and sort of fling it away just for a second. Okay, so back round to Seamus. Make a con save again, please.
I can see us all being paralysed.
11 again. Wow, 11.
11. So the vine is still firmly attached to your neck, all by the smallest of whatever's left of it, because it did get a big chunk taken out of it. But you remain paralysed on the floor, which isn't good.
No.
So yeah, Mockrell next.
Can't just unmute myself. I'm going to sort of walk up to it again, and I'm going to try and take another swing out of it.
Have another go. Okay.
15.
15 is a hit.
And 6 damage.
6 damage. So you easily sever through the vine, and it kind of shoots back into the grass, and ever so slowly and groggily, Seamus kind of regains himself and wakes up.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Wakey.
Thank you.
Okay, Ross.
Ross is the one that's just in front of him. He's going to go for a 2-weapon attack with a short sword and dagger.
Okay.
Sort of combo.
Yep.
With a 18 to hit.
18 is a hit.
6 plus 3. So it's 9 damage with the short sword.
Oh yeah. So that one's gone. Easily chop that in half.
There's a bonus attack with a dagger in the other hand. So I don't need to reroll for that. So it's just a 1d4. Did you say the other one was going towards Morcaral?
Yeah.
Or was it Wrath?
One was attacking Raph and one was attacking Morcaral.
I'll use my 2-weapon to throw my dagger towards the one that's on Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 damage.
2 damage. Okay, cool.
And then I can use sneak attack because he's within 5 foot to do 2d6 extra for 6 damage total.
Okay. So that one's easily killed as well. Chop that one in half. So the 2 sort of tendrils that are left kind of slink back into the grass, and all is silent again where you're standing. So you're outside the front of this large brick and wood farmhouse.
Can I do a nature check to see if I recognise the vines?
Yeah, can do.
Or what could cause vines to suddenly go on a murdering, killing rampage?
Go for it.
Ooh, 9.
9. So you kind of examine the bit of vine that was stuck firmly on the back of Seamus's head, and you recognise it as part of the Herbus borealis family, but it's unnaturally large, and you don't recall any instances where such a plant behaved in the way that this one was behaving.
It's common enough, but I've not seen one this big before.
Oh dear. What could have caused it? Overgrown.
What do you say we go and see if we can find where this came from?
If you're going to trade through the overgrown, I would suggest you be very careful. That did not end well for me.
The overgrowth is about the size of me, so...
So at the front of the house, it's covered in weeds and sort of foliage. The door is slightly ajar to this house. You can't hear anything inside at the minute. That's kind of where you're at. You're just outside the front there.
Wow. Should we see what's going on inside the house?
We might as well before we move on from here. We got this far.
But what if they've got pot plants?
Little shop of horrors.
So you all going inside?
Feed me.
Feed me, Seymour.
I'll push open the slightly ajar door with my quarterstaff tentatively now that I've.
So as you push the door open, you can kind of see in the room where it opens into a bit of a hallway, and just to the side there's a room that you can just sort of kind of glimpse around the corner and see in, and you can see sitting in a ring some children, all kind of sitting on chairs in a circle in the centre of the room.
Not been able to see the kids inside. I'll sort of pick up some grass on the floor and throw it at his neck to make him jump over.
I believe. Don't I got like what is it? I only just seen this character sheet like 10 minutes ago.
That's okay.
Ah, don't like
In the absence of anyone doing anything,
I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go on in and try and approach these ring of children.
Okay.
I will join you.
So you two are both going in. What are you other two doing?
Standing back just in case. I'm at the ready.
Okay.
I've got a dart in between my fingers, ready to throw it if I need to.
Right. Okay. Okay. So as you walk in, you can see that there's 5 children, and they're sitting on wooden chairs in a fairly kind of empty room, although it is heavily overgrown. And they don't seem to be moving. But as you walk into the room, they kind of slowly turn to look at you, and they sort of say, "Help! Kill us! Run! Save yourselves! Run!" And as they do, sort of start to pick up bits and pieces and start throwing it at you.
I'm going to ask, address one of them if is there like a clear leader or one that can be a bit more coherent? See if he'll explain what's gone on here or what we are supposed to run from.
They're aged from about 5 to about 12, and sort of. So I guess you're looking at kind of the tallest or the biggest. Yeah.
Older sort of ones here.
And as you look at him, he just looks straight at you and says, "Please, just run!" And he throws an old milk bottle that's sitting down next to you with a 12 to hit.
It misses. I sidestepped to one side, allowing it to smash next to me. What do you reckon, Cal? Do we go in or do we?
Well, I mean, they look like they're innocent enough and they're in pain. So yeah, I reckon we go in and we'll try and see what's going on, see if there's anything.
Yeah, I'm going to go up and sort of put my hand on his shoulder, the one who threw the milk bottle.
Okay. What do the rest of you want to do?
I'm going to sort of loiter at the door and watch them get wailed on by the bits of broken chair and milk bottles.
Okay.
I have a plan if it doesn't work, but I'm going to let them try and set up a daycare centre first.
Okay. So,
girl, watch for any small vines behind us. We've been tricked once.
right, so you put your hand on this kid's shoulder, and as you do, the other 4 kids all start throwing things at you as well. There's 5 children there all together. So we've got a 17, 15, and a 14, and 11 to hit.
17 and 15 hits.
So 2 hits. Okay. That's at 2. That takes 3 damage. So these children, they're screaming, they're wailing at you, they're telling you to flee, they're telling you to run, and they're throwing sticks and stones and rocks and stuff at you as you stand there, sort of holding on to this.
I would like to insight check them if possible.
Go for it.
Nice.
Oh, natural 19. Plus 3, so 22.
So, you, being a wood elf and being someone who knows the natural world, you can see that the room is really overgrown with all of this sort of foliage, and it's all over the floor and the walls and everything else. But as you stand there watching sort of the chaos erupt, you see that there's vines that are trailing up the back of the children, and each child has got one attached to the back of its head.
Nice.
I tell the group, and I throw a dart at the vine attached to one of the children.
Go for it.
Don't hit the child.
That nearly did. 11.
11 hits the vine.
Wow. I need a D4. That's 5 damage.
5 damage. So yeah, your dagger flies through the air with precision and actually cuts the vine just beneath the kid's neck, and the kid drops to the floor and unconscious at the minute. But the vine kind of backs off, and it kind of reels itself back up to quite a large sort of bush that's sitting in the corner. Okay. So.
Oh dear.
So we got Ross, who's in the room, busy getting attacked by these kids. Rafa's just joined the fray with his dagger. What are you other two doing, Seamus and Mokral?
So you said there's a bush in the corner that we can see that it's recoiled to get the vines recoiled to.
Yeah, the vine sort of retreated back towards this large bush.
Can I go and hit the bush with my stick?
You can give the bush a tap with your stick if you like. Yeah.
Team Golden Force.
I'll go do that then.
Yeah. Okay.
want me to roll anything? Or?
Yeah, roll to hit. Yeah, sorry.
9.
9. Did you say 9?
We're going to a 19, sorry.
Oh, 19 is a hit, yep. So roll for damage.
And 5.
5. Okay, cool. So you sort of hit the bush with your stick, and as you did, each of the 4 vines that are still connected to the children that are awake all kind of shuddered a little bit, but they're still firmly stuck to the kids. So Craig, if you want to do anything, now's your. How do you want to do it? You're still sort of standing watching, or are you going to come and join in?
No, I'm going to sort of come in at this point. I'll have been watching what's been going on in the bush, and I'll take a swing at it at the base of it with my halberd. I regretted not bringing my scythe instead of a halberd.
Okay.
That's 11 to hit.
11 hits.
And 7 damage.
7. Oh, nice one. Okay. So back round to Ross, who was shaking a child at last time we saw him.
Don't say that. With me having my hand on this child's shoulder, and I noticed the bush gets it, I shout to us saying that I think we need to sort of free these children before, whether it seems to drain them or taking something from them. I think we need to free them before taking down the bush. And with that, I'm going to attempt to do a short sword and dagger on the vine on the back of the kid that I'm with, the 12-year-old sort of guy.
Okay, yeah.
Please don't behead it.
I got a nat 1, but I'm sure I've got something I can re-roll it. Yeah, lucky.
Halfling.
Yeah,
lucky
halflings get lucky, yeah.
Let's do that. I like this halfling.
Yeah, they're good.
13 plus 5, so 18.
Is
a
a
hit.
hit. Yeah.
So 1d6 plus, so 8 damage.
Yeah, so the child, you sort of swing with your short sword, easily chopping the vine in half, and the child that it was attached to drops to the floor, unconscious.
And then I'll follow up with the next child in the circle with the dagger.
Yeah.
Which is, that's only a 3.
So that's a miss.
Now, possibly a good time to mention, you all have advantage on melee attacks within 5 feet of me.
You do, yeah.
My animal spirit thingy. Friends have an advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of me.
That's your totem beast thing, isn't it?
Yeah, my wolf.
Yeah.
So, do I have to roll to hit again with the dagger, or do I just roll the damage for the dagger?
You roll. You're supposed to roll to hit for each attack.
All right. Oh, that was the actual damage that one. So to hit would be a 6.
That's a miss.
Would 6 hit?
No, 6 is a miss.
6 doesn't hit, and then that's it. That's it for me. I missed the second one.
Okay, so there's 3 children still conscious, and they're going to start throwing things at the others. So the first one's going to throw a bit of stick at Raph, and he rolls 7.
Nope.
Which is a miss. And then we've got another one's going to throw a stone at Seamus.
Check on the misses.
And 19.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So that hits. And the stone does 1 damage. 1 hit point. And the last kid is going to throw a lump of rock at Mokrel. And he rolls 5.
I'll just sort of catch it in midair.
Yeah, just laughing at the kid. And the bush in the corner that you've been attacking, 2 more vines kind of slither out from its tendrils, and they kind of raise up. And it was it was Mockrell and Raph that were attacking the bush, I believe. So he's going to sort of move to attack each of you. So Mockrell first, 5, and then Raph, 18.
Was that for Seamus, was it?
No, Raph the patient. That's you.
Oh, so that's 18 against me?
Yeah.
That will hit, yeah.
And 4 damage. Ooh. And roll a Constitution saving throw, please.
Not with that. 7.
7. So this vine rears up, and you can sort of, it kind of curls itself around the back of your neck, lashes on, and you become paralysed. You can see what's going on, but you can't move or speak or kind of do anything about it. Okay, so that's the monster's turn. So back round to Ross.
I think Ross is checking on his wife.
Sorry, yeah, he just had his going right, didn't he? Raph, it was your turn, but you've just got paralysed. So Seamus.
Ah, cool. Okay, so what we got, this bush is still attacking us then, yeah?
Yeah. So Raph is currently paralysed.
Can I cast Shillelagh cantrip as a bonus action?
Sorry?
The Shillelagh cantrip as a bonus action.
Yeah.
And then I attack the bush with my quarterstaff.
Yeah.
So it gives it 8 damage.
Extra damage
and
in it.
Allows me to wisdom in this. So I will roll to hit. It does, yeah. Okay, so that is 2 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit, yeah.
And I roll 11 damage.
Oh, lovely. So as you smash this bush, it kind of screams out in agony. You've killed it. How do you want to kill it?
Just keep on hitting it.
So you can kind of
leaves are flying everywhere.
Pummel it into a mushy mess.
Yeah, into a mushy mess. Like mulch.
Mulch, compost.
Sorry, did you guys free the children, or did you not? I had to run and check the missus.
No, so the bush is now turned into a compost heap. It's been defeated, and the vines that were attached to the other 3 children have kind of they just dropped straight off. The 3 children have dropped to the floor as well, unconscious. So you got 5 unconscious children, and Raph, who had just been attacked by one of the vines. It's only been on him a second or two, so he's kind of come back to his senses quite quickly and recovered.
I just brush it off like some nasty just touched me.
Okay, so you're now in a room. The bush is finished, and the children are unconscious on the floor.
Can we go and check that the children are all right, or they're unconscious, just to make sure that they're like stable breathing, they're not having any repercussions?
Yeah, so as you look over them, you can see that they're breathing and they've got a pulse and all that kind of thing. They're just kind of asleep at the minute.
I don't know if you could rouse them or not.
Could I do a medicine check to see if it's safe to rouse them after such an ordeal?
Go on then, yeah.
Come here, boy. Calm down. Stop it. Stop it. There you go. Sorry, someone's at the door and the dog's going mad.
I'll roll a 15 on the medicine check if it's needed.
Okay. So yeah, you're leaning over the kids and you can see they're all breathing and everything about them. All their vital signs seem they appear to be asleep at the moment. So as far as you can tell, it'd be safe to try and wake them.
Okay. I would rouse the oldest one of the bunch.
So as you're shaking the eldest one, slowly and groggily, he kind of comes to. and opens his eyes and what's going on? Where am I? Who are you?
Calm down, child. We're here to help.
What's happened? What's going on?
I push my hood back to show my white eyes. I'm not trying to scare the kid. I'm just
I've not seen anyone
being a
like
monk.
you
It
before.
kind of happens that way sometimes. Calm, child. I'm a monk.
What?
I'll sort of stand in the background, tapping my halberd on the floor, waving.
What's going on? How did I get here?
What happened, child? Tell us what happened.
Well, last thing I can remember, I woke in the middle of the night to a sharp pain, but I couldn't move. I heard shouting outside and could see the flicker of a firelight through the window. I think it was at Harnard's house. I could hear his family screaming, but I couldn't get up. Over the next couple of minutes, my whole body became numb. I couldn't feel anything. Then I just jerked upright in bed and got up. I saw my family nearby and they were walking like puppets, with a trailing vine attached to each of their backs. We walked to the garden, where this great heap of rotting plants was all moving around. It was alive. It looked us over without saying a word. Then we walked back out to the village. We just wandered around every day and fell down whenever we happened to be at night. We dragged most of our livestock to the garden, where the creature ate them. A few strangers showed up in the village over the weeks, and we captured them for the creature in the garden. It ate them too. That's all I can remember.
I point to the bush that's just turned into a compost heap. Is this the bush you were talking about?
No, there's a bigger one in the garden by the big house at the end of the village.
I think we know what happened to the last few people Merrick sent this way.
Who did you say lived at the big house, child?
The big house? Well, that's where the old man used to live.
What do you know about him?
Not much. He moved to the village a few years ago. He just kept himself to himself. He was all right. He didn't really bother us much. I think he died.
I wonder if he was helped.
Yes.
You should stay here with your friends. They'll start to come around soon.
Oh, are you going to save us? Are you going to save the village?
Yes, we are.
Oh,
At this point, I'm pulling bedroll out of my explorer's pack and 5 days of my rations and my water skin to give to the children.
oh, you look quite scary, but thank you.
I'll walk up to him and smile with a big orcish grin, going, "He's nothing to worry about."
Oh God! So
I'll walk over, being only probably the same height as him, and like, listen, if I can survive out there, you can. You're strong, young one.
Oh, I don't know. Your friends are quite scary. I think you guys might be okay. Oh, look, my friends are waking up now. And sort of as you're talking, all the other children start to come to as well.
I pull my hood up very quickly so I don't startle the other children.
Okay, I think I would bid him to stay hidden, and that we should set off immediately towards this large house.
Oh, okay. Be careful though, because that thing is eating all the cows and all the chickens, and every time a stranger comes to town, it eats them. So be careful.
Just quickly, have we seen any signs of like fire or smoke or anything in the village at all?
No, not yet.
Is there a? I'm sort of looking around. Is there a fireplace in the farm?
Yeah, there is a fireplace in the farmhouse.
I'll pull out one of my torches from my explorer's pack, light it, and I'll throw it in the fireplace. So it sort of starts a fire with what's left of the bush.
Yeah.
And I'll give the torch to the eldest child.
Oh, thank you. As the fire
One thing I've learned is that plants don't like fire.
So as the fire in the fireplace lights up, you can almost feel the vines and the foliage in the room sort of start to retreat a little bit. You can't see it moving, but you get the feeling that it's trying to back away from the heat. You're quite right. Oh, thank you. It feels a bit better in here already now.
What do you say we set off towards the other end of town, guys?
Off we go.
Yeah, so I think that's a valid plan.
I've got all this lock-picking business. I'll sort of lock the farmhouse behind me. Not that it'll do much good if it has windows, but keep them a bit safe for now.
So as you sort of walk, as you walk back up to the crossroads, you can see the pub on the corner there, and sort of opposite to the direction that you've come in at the other end of the village is this kind of large, ornate, big stone house, and it's got like a really high hedge either side of it going round, and that's kind of like you assume that's where the garden is. That's how the kids have described it to you. The big house at the
How
end
far
of the
away?
village. So you're kind of in the centre of the village. This is at the other end, so maybe a quarter of a mile or so. It's just past the pub. And there's a sort of another large house, and actually on the other side of the road there's a burnt ruin of a house as well. So past the pub and the wooden house, and then you got the big house there.
Perhaps we should look in some of the other buildings to see if there's any other survivors, or help whoever that was.
What I'll do, if that's okay, is I want to use my wild shape and transform myself into a dire wolf.
Into a what? What are you transforming into?
A dire wolf.
A dire wolf. Okay.
Yeah. With the keen hearing and smell, which gives me advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing or smell, so I can sort of keep an eye out, see if I can hear any rustling and stuff as we're going along.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So as you guys are standing there, you turn and notice the Dwarf Druid all of a sudden has kind of become a lot hairier than he was a second ago.
That's saying something for a dwarf.
All fours and actually get a little bit bigger, to be honest.
Yeah, he's probably grown. He probably smells a bit better since he was a dwarf before.
Same height, just longer.
And I'll go and lick him with his hand as well.
So where do you fancy heading to then? You got this.
That's very, very weird.
You got a large.
Can I walk over to this sort of burned down shack across the way and do sort of a wisdom check or see if I can learn anything? I presume this is where the kids saw the torchlight.
Yeah, let's have a look.
The nat 20 plus 1.
So you're wandering over to the burnt ruins. Okay, so these ruins are charred remains of a wooden structure. Were created not many months ago. There's no vegetation within about 20 feet of the house. You can give us an investigation check if you like, if you want to investigate it further. But it's basically a ruined house. There's no vegetation there.
22.
22. So as you kind of look around a bit closer at the ashes and sort of the charred structure of the building, you discover 3 bodies. There's a man, a woman, and a young girl that have all been burnt to death. There are also remnants of some plants, including what appears to be hundreds of feet of blackened vine.
Seamus, you should have turned into a goat and ate your way through.
it with my teeth and rip it apart.
This must be the house that the young boy was talking of, where he saw the torchlights and his friends.
Yeah.
So
you're in the ruined
where do
building.
you guys want to head to next? The pub?
Opposite where you are now is this great stone house with this hedge going all the way around it. And then back a little bit, the way you came is the pub and a large wooden house.
I'd say go to the big stone house. Let's investigate this big pile of leaves.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you all agree? Okay. So, okay, as you start to move towards the house, just to the left, you can sort of, the direwolf in particular, kind of stops dead and starts sniffing. You can see the sort of long grass about sort of 20 metres to your left is starting to rustle a little bit.
Can I growl at it?
And as
I liked another torch.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, has anyone got fire that I can light an arrow and shoot it that way with?
I pull out torches out of my explorer's pack and hand one to the rogue, and I was going to give one to the dwarf druid, but it's kind of four-legged.
And
so we'll light torches.
Okay, so as you light your torches, you can kind of see in the long grass these vines are starting to stick up and kind of almost look around, as almost as if they're trying to see what's there. They're about sort of 10 metres away from you at the minute, and they're kind of looking straight at you. But where you've lit the torches, they're kind of a little bit hesitant to kind of get any closer at the minute.
Can I try and intimidate them?
You can try,
They
yeah.
seem almost to be intelligent. I'll sort of walk up to them and say, not worth the hassle, don't even try. Oh dear. 6.
6. And as you do, the two that are closest to you both curl up in an S to strike at you. One rolling 12 and one rolling 11.
Well, that sucks. They both hit.
They both hit. Oh gosh. Okay, so that's a total of 6 health points damage and 2 Constitution saving throws, please.
Just before they strike, I'll sort of mutter out to the others, don't provoke them.
No.
That would be a 4 and a 14.
Okay, so you managed to grab the first one as it goes to strike your neck, and as you're holding on to it with both your hands, trying to stop it from grabbing hold of you, the second one clamps itself firmly behind you, and you drop to your knees, paralysed.
I want Pringles.
Okay.
I will throw a dart, one of my 10 darts.
Okay.
To try and release our half-orc friend. That's a 14 to hit.
14 hits. You've got a total of 6 of these vines all looking at you at the minute.
I'm trying to release our half-orc.
Yeah, so you hit.
For 4 damage.
Okay, and yeah. So your dagger flies through, severing it, and he kind of wakes up as quick as he went to sleep. So he's back with us.
Can I light an arrow and fire it into the grass that sort of these vines are in?
You can try.
What am I rolling for that? Just a normal roll to hit?
Give us a... That's good. Give us a nature roll to see if you can, because you can hit the ground, well, presumably. Are you aiming directly at the vine, or are you just going to put it into the ground between you and the vine?
Just sort of the sort of grassy area to see if I can sort of light it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, give us a nature check then, and see if you can light the grass.
I don't know if I get any pluses on nature. It's a very strange character sheet.
Yeah, it's one of the pre-gen ones from the Wizards of the Coast website. They do a pre-gen.
I have it. It just doesn't have a section of nature bit.
Oh, does it not have them? Okay.
What's
Well,
your intelligence?
nature is an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Well, 18 all in.
Oh, 18. Good one. So yeah, you light your arrow and you fire it into the ground, and it's there smouldering. You kind of got a little bit of a fire going. Nothing sort of too major, but it's something between you and the vines that's looking at you. Okay. So Seamus, yeah.
Yep. Cool. So I'm just gonna sort of run in and pounce and try and like rip one of the vines out with my teeth.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay.
So that'll be a 20 to hit.
20, yeah, easily.
And that will be 7 damage.
7.
Bite.
Okay. So the first vine you've ripped in half easily.
Ah, cool. Kills it. Does it?
Sorry. Yeah, the first vine is ripped up. Yeah.
Cool. I don't get a second attack, so that's it.
That's it. Okay, cool. So there's 4 vines that are left, and two of them are going to attack Mokoral again because he's still there, and that is a 14 and an 11.
Who's that hit?
Is that a hit?
Who's that hit, sorry?
That's at you, 14 and 11. 2 of the vines.
Yeah, they both hit.
And that's a total of 6 damage and 2 Constitution saving throws, please. Failed, did you say? What did you get?
8 and 12, so both fail, I guess.
12 succeeds and 8 doesn't. So sort of same again, you manage to catch the first one coming and the second one gets you and paralyses you. The other 2 vines are going to attack the dire wolf, Seamus, who's turned into the wolf. And that is a 18 and 15.
Both will hit.
Both hit. Okay. And they do, oh gosh, total of 11.
That's fine. I'm still good.
And you need to do a Constitution saving throw.
Natural 20.
Yeah,
Nice.
and the other one?
18.
18, yeah. So they although they hit you, you've managed to sort of fend them off attaching. So you're still conscious. Okay, Raph, you're up.
I'm going to throw yet another dart at the vine attacking the half orc again.
Yeah.
That's a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
And 6 damage.
Ooh, lovely. So yeah.
5 damage, sorry.
And so Morcrow wakes up again.
I'll pull him away from this one.
I should.
I'll sort of get up and go, not again.
That intimidation thing kind of backfired. Ross.
I'm going to attempt to fire an arrow straight through the flames by them into one of the vines.
Okay.
For a 13.
13 hits.
To hit. 1d6 plus 3. And 7 with and it's got sneak attack on it as well if I need it.
Yeah, no, 7 finishes.
Oh, 7 enough.
Yeah, 7's enough.
7's enough.
So that vine
So just straight through the head of the vine.
kind of explodes as you hit it, and with that, the other two vines kind of recoil back into the grass and disappear. You are once again
Can
alone.
I follow them?
Yeah. Okay. So as they recoiling back, they kind of go to a largish kind of bush that looks very similar to the one you saw in the house just now.
I alert the
Get
people
up and
that are
stumble. Come back, we weren't even started.
Guys, big pile.
Drop your torch on it.
Yeah, I'll throw my torch at it.
Oh, okay, yeah, go for
Because
it.
fire.
Yep.
15 plus 5 is my attack bonus, so 20.
That hits.
I don't know what damage I'm going to do with the torch.
We'll say 1d6.
Fire.
We'll say 1d6 plus your
Okay.
plus your dex modifier.
5.
Ooh, 5. Yeah. So you kind of like
Roll it.
hurl your torch going head over heels towards the bush. Boom, sticks into it, and it's smouldering. And if a plant could scream, you would hear a scream coming from it. But it's still moving around. Actually, the vines are kind of flapping about either side, and yeah.
I'll pick up my darts and await what happens.
Okay, Ross.
Ross is going to see whether I've got this pre-gen character sheet because of timing and stuff. I was going to see if I've got a flask or something that I can throw like alcohol in it or a bit of some accelerant, maybe some alcoholic drink.
So what are you?
Well, I don't know if
I
you'd
would have
have one.
thought. I would have thought a rogue would well have a hip flask of whiskey on him. I'd imagine.
Yeah, something like that. With him being sort of pyrotesque as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and sort of accelerate the fire if I can.
Okay. So you're going to throw your hip flask at it.
Just open it, take a swig, and then
Yeah.
fling it on the fire.
Okay. And as you do, there's kind of a big sort of puff of flames come up, and it's enough to fully ignite this bush, and it kind of screams out and kind of deflates and collapses on the floor as a burning mound. It's gone, finished. Okay, so you are now standing to the side of the stone building, having dispatched the vines that were guarding it. How do you want to go on?
Can I go and sniff around, see if I can sense anything else?
Yeah, you can give us an investigation check.
I'll give him advantage. 80. You don't need it.
I got a 20.
20. Okay. So you're sniffing around the house. You can't your wolf senses don't sort of sense anything else untoward outside. There's certainly no movement outside. You can see it's a large 2-story stone structure. It's covered in hanging plants and vines. And as you approach, a slight breeze causes some of the plants hanging in the front door to sway. The door opens easily to present a small entryway with doors on either side, left and right, and a narrow staircase leading up to the second floor. A smell of peat and moss and compost fills the house.
Hmm.
Well, that wasn't convenient at all, was it?
And can I do sort of a nature check on this moss and stuff, see if it's just standard moss or whether it's going to put us to sleep or something?
Go on then.
So that would be a 21.
21. Okay, so you're not really a nature expert, being a halfling rogue from the city, but with a score like that, you can see that this is more than your average moss. You can't really tell what kind of magical properties or sort of narcotic properties it has, but you can see that it's kind of more than your average moss and vines. but it's the same stuff that's covering the whole of the village. Same stuff that was in the house with the kids. Same stuff.
My decision is going to be go to the left because I rolled a d4 and my first pick was left.
Okay, so you want to go to the left?
Yes, that's my choice.
All right. What do you others want
And
to do?
I'll go with the party.
So what is there? There's a left and there's an up the stairs.
There's up the stairs,
Left, right,
or there's
up the
left
stairs.
or the right. Yeah, left, right, or up the stairs.
Before we go in, I'll just have a quick scout around behind us to make sure we can't see anything. Nothing's.
Okay. Give us
Can we see? Can we see anything to the left or right, or is it just literally corridor sort of thing?
No, you can see the hallway in front of you with the stairs, which is empty. And you can see a sort of a door that's ajar on either side, left and right, but you can't see what's in the rooms.
I see no reason to split up. I say we go left, do it a bit systematically.
Sweep the whole place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Sounds
So we're
good.
going to be like Operation SWAT team.
Yeah.
One person keeping an eye on the door as the other one's breaching.
I'm going to sort of knock an arrow and walk towards the door.
So Call of Duty style, you're going to go in the building. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll poke my head into the door to the left and see what I can see.
Okay. So the door on the left side of the entry leads into a kitchen and dining area. The food in the kitchen has long since rotted and become insect bait. Stacks of dirty pots and pans line the kitchen, but oddly enough, no plates or eating utensils accompany them. In the kitchen there is a door that leads out into the huge garden behind the house.
I will tell people that there is no immediate danger.
Just as a
Hello?
thought. Sorry, go on.
Yes. No, go on.
I was just wondering, does anyone have any ideas on what it was that we saw at the beginning when we saw that thing sort of darting between the houses? That looked humanoid.
Good point. We have a direwolf. You could ask him.
Direwolf, any ideas? Any insight from your senses?
Can you sniff it out?
I don't know. Maybe I can run a perception check, see if I can find it.
You can give it a go, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I get advantage on my perception too.
You're even trouble when the DM goes, you can give it a go.
You can give it a go.
That is with perception. That is a 24.
24. So, with your wolf senses and casting your mind back, your best guess is that it was one of the villagers.
One of the villagers. Okay, can I try and track him down or anything?
That would be interesting, yeah.
Trail or something?
Yeah, you can do. I mean, it was right back at the beginning of the village, so you can leave the house and make your way back through the village if you like to have a search.
How big is a direwolf?
It's kind of like a regular
As-
wolf,
as
but a
a
bit
half-
bigger, yeah. About the size of
Pretty
a
big.
tiger, I would have said.
As a halfling, can I sort of ride it just to see if we can quickly find this dude?
I don't see why not.
If Seamus is agreeable and doesn't want to
Yeah, I don't
fight
know.
with
Whether,
it,
Hop on, I'll sort of nod my head to signal you getting onto me.
right?
They're actually slightly large.
Looks like this is happening then.
Size as a horse almost.
I start laughing.
so Ross climbs on the back of the direwolf.
Giant things.
Hey?
A direwolf's the one from Game of Thrones, like the massive ones.
Yeah,
Is that what they
yeah.
are?
Yeah, I'd have said they're about the size of a
Right.
tiger or something like that, probably.
Yeah. Maybe not a horse then. I was exaggerating a bit, but they're larger than the normal wolf.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. So let's do this then.
They're certainly big enough to
You
hold
and I
up.
are going out to find that, and the other ones are staying and sweeping the house, yeah?
Yes, not a problem. If either of you guys run into trouble, sort of, do either of you have like an arrow or something to signal us, or
If they whistle really loudly, I have good hearing.
Or I could just shout really loudly, "Get back here!"
That could work.
Okay.
I've got a speed of 50 feet, so
Okay. So
Let's do.
which team wants to go first? Then we got the wolf team and we got the guys in the house.
Well, Team
This
House
is real one of
heads the kids, doesn't it? So let Team Wolf do its thing.
Okay. So Team Wolf, you set off into the village. I guess you're going to head back towards the crossroads. That was kind of the area that you saw.
While he sort of trots, I'm going to be like actively looking for anything that's coming from either side, or just sort of keeping a watchful eye with my bow.
Okay. So everything seems quiet as you stand in the crossroads. You can see kind of 4 major buildings. You've got a large livery stables up a bit of a path. There's a small wooden shack on one corner of the crossroads. A stone-faced farmhouse on another corner of the crossroads. Or the pub is on the fourth corner of the crossroads. You can't see any sign of movement. And see, there you are in the centre of the town.
Do you smell anything, Seamus?
I don't know. Can I smell this person?
Yeah, give it a. What are we doing? Survival checks, I guess, would be the most appropriate.
I've never been able to say I've ridden a wolf before.
17.
17. So, sort of sniffing around, you can sort of smell that the pub has probably had the most recent sign of people.
Human activity. Go towards the pub then, like I suggested in the first place.
As you get a bit nearer to the pub, you can hear what sounds like something scraping against wood from inside.
Bound open the door. Bound through the door.
Going to bound through the door. Okay.
Bound through the door, bow and arrow drawn.
Okay, and you're staying on the wolf?
At this point.
Okay. So as you bound through the door, almost knocking it off its hinges, we cut back to the team in the house. So guys in the kitchen, what are you doing?
Definitely not making breakfast.
No.
Investigate, I guess.
So you got the door to the right, or you can go up the stairs, or you can go out into the garden.
Can I?
I'll be behind the half orc this time.
I'd like to have a walk towards the window, looking outside into the garden to see what I can see out there.
Okay. As you look out into the garden, you can kind of see it's like a thick jungle. It's kind of damp. The air feels damp, almost like a rainforest, I guess. And it's kind of the plants and trees and shrubs are growing so high they're almost covering and blocking out the sky. It's almost like a series of interlocking rooms, or sort of like a jungle with little clearings. There's kind of a bit of an archway straight in front of you. There's one to the left and there's one to the right, from what you can see from where you are.
I'll relay that back to the rest of the team house, and we'll leave the garden for now.
So do you want to look
at our current track record of leads? We should probably scout the rest of the house first. There might be something useful.
Do you want to go upstairs, or do you want to go in the room on the right?
I'd say bottom floor sweep first.
Yeah.
Okay. So the right door opens into a den or a library. There are 3 cabinets.
Ooh, a library.
Yeah, kind of a library, sort of den, study, kind of small room. There are 3 cabinets and a desk with a chair. The room smells of decay. Moving around the room, you see what's left of an old man's decomposing corpse. The man is dressed in fine robes and wears a couple of expensive-looking rings.
Ooh.
I would like to investigate the body to see what I can find.
Okay. So yeah, he's wearing nice clothes and he's got a couple of rings on his fingers.
He's dead, Jim.
He's very dead. Yeah, he's very dead.
I'll dig through his pockets and take the rings, see if I know anything about them.
Okay, you can give us an Arcana check. Since you're a wood elf, you might be able to spot something.
While he's doing that, I just sort of mutter to him. Taking the rings off an old boy shortly after moving in. And then, yeah, he's gone. Kills everybody.
My Arcana check was a 5, so I know nothing about the rings. I will leave them there.
You're going to leave them on the corpse, are you?
Yeah, I don't know if they're magical or not.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not using that dice anymore.
No, throw that one in the bin. Yeah, so you're in a library room and there's this dead guy in there with his posh robes on, and that's about it.
Is there? Did you say he got a desk with drawers?
He's a desk he's sitting at, yeah.
Go towards the desk to see if there's anything useful in the drawers or on the desk.
There's just sort of papers and stuff, nothing of any particular relevance, just sort of scribbles, and they're kind of like mad scribbles, really. He's got the kind of writing style of an old doctor, and it's kind of illegible, really. Just the ramblings of an old man.
Can we find his name?
As you look around, yeah, you see on one of the bits of paper his name's Kurishan, or the name of Kurishan is on there. It's in the old kind of spidery writing that the rest of it's on.
Are the books on the wall, did you say?
Yeah, there's various books and pieces, yeah.
I'll have a quick scan of the books to see like the general topic of interest he had.
They are books on plants and herbology and nature and all kinds of things like that.
Kind of makes sense.
All plant-related books.
I think we may have found the source of our problem.
Yeah, I would go with that. Patient 0 is here. I don't think I find anything else, I guess. So upstairs, maybe?
Okay, and as you go to move upstairs, we're cut to the team that have just smashed their way into the pub. So where are we? Okay, so this is the Green River Inn. The sign outside this two-story building, brick building, says Green River Inn. A covered porch welcomes visitors to a double door of heavy wood. Upon opening the doors, you see a large room about 40 foot by 30 foot, containing 8 rough-hewn tables bordered by benches and chairs. A short bar lines the back of the room. Scattered around the place are seated half a dozen adult villagers, all women. As you enter the room, the women start crying for help, shouting warnings, making threats, and so on. They then leap to their feet. Roll for initiative.
Wow, this is going to end well.
You have six women.
6 women.
All,
My dream.
They're all screaming and crying and telling you to flee and run and you're going to die, all that kind
I
of
got
stuff.
an 11.
So what have you got? Roll for initiative.
11.
11, sorry, yeah.
15.
15, okay.
Out of character, are these women pregnant?
That's a good question.
Is that something you're in?
No, that would explain the erratic behaviour, I guess.
So the first 2 women are going to move to attack each of you with their clubs. And they roll.
They have clubs?
They have clubs in their hands.
What women are these?
They have clubs and they have spades and they've got cooking implements, pots and pans.
Can we do any sort of... Can we see if they've got any of these vine things attached to them at all?
You can roll a perception thingy. Perception check.
Yeah, that's right. Sections 19.
19. Yeah, you can see that each of the women have got a vine attached to the back of their necks. So they both attack. The one attacking Seamus rolls 15, and the one attacking Ross rolls 13.
15 hits.
I'll do a sidestep and miss mine.
Okay, so 15 hits. And does 4 damage.
Cool.
Okay, so Seamus, you're up.
Cool. So I guess I'm gonna retaliate and attack the one that's attacked me.
Okay, you're going to attack the woman that's just hit you. Okay.
I would attack the vine on the woman.
I'm a wolf though.
Fair point.
I don't mind. You can savage her if you like.
Just maul this woman. Just maul this poor woman. Who's
Yeah,
like,
do it.
tortured.
She was a bad cook anyway.
Yeah, that's a 21 to hit.
21 rips into her. Yeah.
How does it work with initiative and stuff with me being on his back?
It's a good question. Well presented. Are you staying on his back, or are you going to jump off, or?
Yeah, for now it could be interesting. Yeah.
Well, you're still, as far as you're still taking it in turns as per initiative. You can fight from wolf back if you like. That's kind of cool.
That'll be interesting.
Cool. That's 13 damage.
You absolutely rip this poor woman to bits. She's a blooded mess on the ground. You can't really tell who she was because her face is missing. You've carved. She's got her intestinal line on the floor next to her, and the vine that was on the back of her neck is now sort of flapping around on the floor. Okay, so 2 more of the women will attack each of you. So the one attacking Seamus rolls 5, and the one attacking Ross rolls 7. They both miss.
Wow, neither of them are going to hit.
Cool. Okay, Ross, you're up.
Do we? Does Team House hear them screaming at all? Since he's just like eviscerated this poor woman.
Well, the woman was had a vine attached to her head when she died, so she wasn't making any screaming noise particularly. You can make
the one that just missed attacking us. I'm going to swing my knife, sword down and try and sort of cleave through the back of the vine on her head as I'm above, just sort of like downwards attack.
Okay.
For a something. 18
hits.
For 5, 6, 7, 8 damage.
Yeah, and that vine is gone, and the woman falls down unconscious on the floor. Okay.
Can I, as my bonus attack, can I throw my dagger at the vine of the other one that missed us?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what I roll for that one. I don't get the modifier.
You don't get the modifiers for the damage or the hit, no.
Right. So to hit it would be a 14.
14 hits.
And with a 2 damage.
2 damage. It hits it, but it doesn't quite sever it. So the woman's still standing and the vine's still clinging onto her. Okay.
Excellent.
So the last 2 women attack, and the brain vine that's on the floor kind of rears up to attack the wolf. So a woman and a vine against Seamus the wolf. We've got 13 and 20.
13 misses, 20 will hit.
So 20 was the woman. She does 6 damage.
Cool.
And then the last woman is going to attack Ross, and she rolls 16.
16 hits.
She does 1 damage.
1 damage.
Okay, Seamus, your turn.
Okay. In the slight sense of remorse from attacking the woman and mauling her, I'll go for the vine that was on the net, so the one that's sort of flapping about on its own.
Yeah, okay.
That one will be a 12 to hit.
12 hits.
Was it 12, yeah?
Yeah.
And that will be a 12 damage.
12, yeah. You absolutely obliterate the vine as well as the woman that it was attached to. It's gone. Okay. Right, so we got the vine that's attached to the woman is going to stay where it is, and the woman, one of the women that's standing there is going to move to attack Ross, and she only gets 9.
Got some miss. How many women are left? Is it 3 women left?
There's 4 women. They've each got a vine attached to them, but one of the vines is down to has been severely injured by your dagger on the last throw.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
I will do a sort of leap sideways off the wolf.
Yeah.
And try and sort of bow and arrow it as in the air.
So who are you going for? You got 3 women and vines that are unhurt, and then you got the one vine that's almost.
The hurt vine at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
With a 19.
Oh, hits.
Hits shovel 6. 3, 5, 6 damage.
Yeah, the arrow easily cuts what's left of the vine across, and the woman drops to the floor, unconscious. Okay. So we've got 3 women left.
Nimble little rogue.
We've got 2 unconscious women, 1 bloody mess of what used to be a woman, and 3 women still standing. They're screaming at you, leave, run away, flee, we're going to kill you. And they all move to attack. So the first one attacks Seamus and rolls a 5. Second one attacks Ross and rolls a 3. And the last one attacks Ross, rolling 21.
Duck under the first one with being only small and take a full hit from the other one.
So she whacks you with her full pelt of her frying pan. This is quite a large farmer's wife kind of looking woman. And
big old skillet.
Yeah, she's giving it a proper tennis backhand with this rather large frying pan, and takes 6 health points off of you. Your ears are ringing quite considerably.
Yeah.
Seamus.
I'll go and attack the vine that's hanging off the woman that's just hit him with a frying pan.
Okay, yeah.
So that one's an 11 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Was that so?
That hits, yeah.
You said that was a miss?
No, it hits. That's a hit, yep.
Oh, 11, sorry. I couldn't hear crinkling. So that's a 9 damage.
Oh, yeah. So you rip through this vine, and as this rather large farmer's wife faints, she kind of does so across a chair and obliterates the chair that she falls on, smashing it to bits as she hits the floor. 2 women left standing.
While I'm like holding my ringing ears, I just give her a sort of a little sly kick.
all the dust from the door frames kind of like trickle down as she hits the floor. We've got 2 women left standing, and they're going to take a swing at each of you. So first one up against Seamus, rolls 13.
That is a miss.
And second one against Ross, rolls 5.
That's a miss.
Okay, Ross, you're up.
I want to pick up this frying pan and try and hit the other vine with it.
Cool. So that'd be plus your strength modifier to hit.
Strength is 0, so 11 to hit.
So yeah, if you haven't, you roll your d20 and then. Sorry, you got 11, did you?
Yeah. No strength modifier.
11 hits, and then it's 1d4 damage.
What's damage on a frying pan?
1d4 plus your strength.
1d4. Oh, 0. I can do my sneak attack on this as well, can't I?
Yep.
So D4's a bit rubbish. I got 4 damage with that, and then 2d6 extra. It would be 4, 5, 6, 7 more.
So you swing and you
11 damage with this frying pan. This big skillet.
So this woman's standing there with this brain vine attached to the back of her head, and you just smashed it with this frying pan really hard, and you've hit her so hard that it's actually just splatted this vine across the back of her head, and she's gone over unconscious like the other women, but you can't tell if you've knocked her out or whether it was the effect of the brain vine sort of damage. She's actually hit the floor quite hard head first. But she's gone nonetheless.
I sort of look a little bit like,
oops,
shit, and just sort of throw the frying pan away as if it wasn't me.
Yeah, in actual fact, she did so much damage, there's quite a large puddle of blood around the top of her head. But anyway.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
So the last woman's going to make a last-ditch attempt to attack the halfling again, and she does so rolling 15.
That's a hit.
And she does 1 health point of damage.
What's she attacking me with?
This woman's got a broomstick. She's rather adept with it. It's not got many bristles left.
I take a good clattering with this broomstick.
Seamus, you're up.
I'm going to attack the vine on the last one. That's a 14 to hit.
Yeah.
And a 11 damage.
Cool. Yeah, easily killed it. So you what did you attack? What did you hit it with? Oh, your claws, aren't you? Sorry, yeah. So you shredded it with your teeth and your claws and sort of ripped it up like it was some butcher's sausages, I suppose. And the woman collapses on the floor unconscious. The room is now silent.
Is there a bush anywhere nearby?
There is a large bush. There's a large bush. It's not moving, and the vines that were coming from it are lying limp on the floor.
Can I go and attack the bush? Because the bush seems to be the source of all their power.
You can go and hit the bush if you like.
I'll go and leap on the bush.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a 17 to hit.
Yeah, 17 hits it.
And a 9 damage.
So you jump on the bush, and it's kind of like jumping on a beanbag. There's no life in it. But nevertheless, you start clawing away, and leaves and twigs and bits of shrub kind of are coming from it, like a tree thrown in a tree cutter. And sooner or later, there's no bush there at all. It's just a dog standing there scratching away at a pile of leaves. It's gone. Okay.
Cool. Worth it. Totally worth it.
So we cut
So now,
back.
now this room's...
Yep.
Sorry?
So
I was just saying...
You got 1 dead woman. You got 5 unconscious women. 4 unconscious, 1 unconscious, possibly dead, lying on the floor in this pub, in this bar.
And one actually ripped to shreds, woman.
Yeah, one has been annihilated.
That one. Do you have any more sort of sense of the thing we saw earlier?
Can you do a perception on that?
Yeah, go on then, yeah.
That's what we're after finding, isn't it?
12 plus my perception. Plus 5, plus 3. So that's the 15.
15. So you start sniffing the bodies that are on the floor, and the rather large farmer's wife who's lying there, you sort of sniffing at her and getting closer and closer, and you growl a little bit, and you pull at her, and you pull away a handkerchief from out of her pocket, and you can smell that scent is the same scent that you detected when the person ran across the road, and you're pretty sure that it was her that was running across the village.
A large farmer's wife.
These are in like a kitchen thing, aren't they, in a pub?
They're in the saloon, in the bar.
In the bar. I was just seeing, do they have a fire we could light, sort of do the same thing as before, give them a bit of safety?
Yeah, there's a fire in the corner. Yeah, you can light that if you like.
I think we'll just start to set in a fire while
It's not
this
just
is
what
what
I
the other
learned,
party's up to.
but who I learned it from.
Okay, so we cut back to the other party that are in the house then. So you guys you just finished looking around the library. So you can either go.
I think we were moving back towards the stairs.
Okay, so you're looking to go upstairs, are you? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sticking behind the huge half orc in front of me.
okay. So the first upstairs is a narrow landing leading to 2 doors. Door number 1 or door number 2, or the door on the left or door on the right.
Eeny, meeny, miny, left.
There you go, left. Okay. So the first door, the door on the left, leads into a laboratory of some sorts. Within the lab are 2 tables covered with all manner of beakers, tubes, burners, all extinguished. There's vials of various coloured liquids and powders, and on one of the tables is a large, thick book.
Is it open or closed?
It's currently closed.
I'd like to have a look at the book and see if I can flick through it and see if there's anything that makes sense or if there's any particular part of it that's specifically been well read.
So, flipping through the book, you discover that Kurishan, he's got his name on the cover and it matches the paperwork downstairs, has been experimenting with exotic plants for a number of years. By studying the last 30 to 50 pages or so, you can determine that Kurishan was attempting to create a process through which a human could be reincarnated at death into a form of sentient plant life that he refers to as an eternal lily. It should be able to move, cast spells, and handle a number of other things.
I suspect he failed.
Is there anything else in the room, or is it just the 2 tables?
It's kind of a lab with sort of bits like test tubes and bits and pieces on it. Let's have a look. There's sort of plant-based things that you can use as spell components if you're a wizard. Don't think any of you are, though, are you? No. So no, there's nothing of any
Can
use.
I do a medicine check to see what's in the vials?
Yeah.
So there's literally nothing to really look for.
There's nothing of any kind of medicinal use. There's sort of if you had a wizard in the party, they might be able to determine which bits and pieces were any good for spell components. But other than that, there's not really anything in the lab of any use to you guys.
I guess I'd probably start heading to the other room.
Yeah. Okay, so this door leads into a bedroom. The centerpiece of the room is a thick, luxurious mattress with fine quilts. A fine rug covers a stone floor, and a huge candelabra sits on a strong wooden desk.
I'm just going to have to make a quick call.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to light the candelabra because fire is our friend.
Yeah, cool, that's a good idea. So you light the candelabra.
Until you try and be...
The room sort of automatically feels a bit more friendly, shall we say. Give us an investigation.
And in that case...
if you both give us an investigation check, yeah.
No. I got a total 3.
Oh no. Morkrell, how did you get on?
Oh, sorry. I sucked.
Oh.
Did you get more than a 3?
So search in the room. All you find is that the bed hasn't been made for a little while, and other than a few sort of knickknacks, there's nothing in the room.
I'm not really one for beds. I'm a monk.
Mm-hmm. And an elf. Huh.
and an elf, so I don't really need a bed. I guess nothing really to see, especially with the two.
So yeah,
I walk back downstairs because the garden seemed to be the most interesting.
okay. Are you guys looking to head out into the garden, just the two of you? Or are you going to wait for your companions to come back, or how do you want
Let me check my current hit points. That'll decide my fate.
to?
Well, we've not heard from them for a while.
Well, yeah, that's true. I think we should go find them.
Okay.
We'll just sort of walk into this bloodbath.
Yeah, we'll go to the pub to find where our friends went.
Okay. So you can pretty easily retrace their steps. It's quite a large wolf, and you can see the tracks in the grass quite recently where they've been. You head off into you can see they've gone into the pub, and as you walk in, you can see a pretty grim sight, really. You've got it looks more like an abattoir than a pub. There's this what you assume is a body on the floor, although it's hard to tell. There's bits of it all over the place and entrails, and a rather large woman against a table that's all against a chair that's all smashed to bits. There's another lady that's currently bleeding quite heavily from the back of her head. And there's bits of vine all over the place, and a few other dead ladies and a few other unconscious women. And your two companions standing there in the bar, waiting for you.
I will go and see what happened to the woman that was obviously maliciously attacked by a wolf.
I'm going to whine and sort of bow my head and like a dog does when it's apologising.
I think you've done well not to eat the.
What can I stem from the woman?
My spirit animals just sort of flash across my face and look very, very disappointed and upset.
Can I do a medicine check to see if I can help this bleeding woman?
Yeah, you can.
Which half? The guts, the legs, or the head?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Which part of her are you?
Is she completely torn?
Oh, the one that the wolf.
Is she completely torn to pieces?
Yeah, the one the wolf attacked has been shredded.
Oh, have you guys come to the?
Yeah, they're in
that case.
They're in the bar.
Yeah.
Right.
In that case, I will start preparing a burial for said woman.
Okay. So you're at the front digging a shallow grave.
I'll just sort of point out at this point we're surrounded by killer vines and a wolf who's just eaten the helpless villager. Digging graves could probably wait a little bit.
The wolf can help dig the grave. Medicine.
I'm not digging up with my paws like a dog digging.
So you're gonna be slowly dragging.
It'll be relatively quick. I'll make it quick. It's not going to be that long.
So
Shallow grave.
While you two are digging a grave and dragging various bits and pieces of disemboweled woman across the floor, what do you want to do?
While they're all digging holes and sort of people, I'll sort of flip between the people on the floor, make sure they're reasonably not about to be eaten or killed. And I'll pass on the information that we found in the house about Kurishan.
Yeah, Krishnan, yeah. Okay.
My eyes sort of light up at the hearing about the man with the rings on his fingers, and I'm very sort of hinting towards. Can we go? I want to get back there. I need to have a look. I need to at least see what's going on. I need to see it for my own eyes. Sort of getting a bit itchy fingered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So you're gonna head back to the house again?
Yeah.
Okay. Whereabouts in the house do you want to go? Back to the body?
Yes.
Okay, so
I've got glinting in my eyes.
So you're back in.
I'll sort of make sure the wolf stays behind everybody else.
You're back in the small study, and the corpse of Kurishan is sat there. with his fine robes and his gold
Can I
rings.
sell it to see how?
I'll sort of lift his hand up and just sort of have a good look at him, see if I can do any sort of check on them.
Yeah, do you have any?
Not really proficient in anything like
you
that.
can give us an Arcana check,
So
which is intelligence check.
yeah, I do have a 12.
12 for a rogue isn't enough to tell what the rings are, other than that they are magical, but you don't know what they do.
I sort of take a minute looking inwardly, sort of.
How much time has passed out of all this, by the way?
Probably about maybe an hour or so.
But I'm going to start Wow. Since we entered since we did the battle where I transformed, because I have about an hour on my.
Yeah, so I'd say you're getting near to the point where your animal change is running out.
Cool.
Okay, whilst Seamus starts sort of turning back and everyone's a little bit distracted, I just sort of seize my opportunity, pull the rings off and stuff them into my pocket.
Okay.
I would like to be a perception check on that.
Okay.
As I was looking to do that too.
Go on in.
$16 for my perception.
Do you want to make it contested?
Oh, do I roll against that? Do I? I've never had that done before.
I think
it's a sleight of hand.
Yeah, you do a sleight of hand one. You need 16 or more.
I've got sleight of hand +5.
Yeah.
So 16.
You got 16 as well.
Makes it, breaks it.
In that case, as Wrath sort of sees what's going on, I just sort of pull him back out gingerly and just like offering to share, go halfsies.
So a ring.
Since I reverted back and I'm a spellcaster, can I try and identify the ring?
You don't know anything about the rings at the minute, I don't think. They've kind of pocketed them.
I'll show them the ones that I have.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, you can. So give us an Arcana check then.
Mine are pocketed. I don't want no one stealing them.
Okay, that is a 17.
17. So
damn.
You can tell that they are. It's a ring of plant growth, but it needs to be attuned over the period of a week. But it's a natural. It's a ring that encourages plants to grow.
That's perfect for a druid.
While I'm stood there, I'm just sort of. I'm liking the fact that I've got a bit of my old ways about me. I can still sort of get my hands in. Yes. I just, as my hands in my pocket, I just slip the rings on.
Incidentally, the Dwarf Druid Seamus also enlightened you to the fact that the current market value for such a ring is about 2,500 gold pieces.
Bloody hell!
So
I still think it's good for the druid, though.
Obviously, a sought after thing, yeah. So it needs attunement for a week to be able to work. But yeah, that's what it is.
Nice. Well, anyway, I'm gonna just nonchalantly bound up the stairs. We're gonna go up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy now. I've got my bit of like bling. I'm just happy and content. I'll do whatever now. Happy as Larry.
So at the top of the stairs, there's a door on the left and a door on the right. The door on the left is a lab, and the door on the right is a bedroom.
Sorry, I was on the phone. Have they explored the lab or the bedroom?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, I didn't find anything, so I'm going to look at books in the library.
Yeah, the two that were in the house searched everywhere as best they could.
Oh, we have Batman. Did they find anything out about the garden?
No, they looked out.
It's overgrown.
It's what, hungry?
Overgrown is what we found.
they looked out into the garden and could see it was kind of overgrown, more like a jungle than a garden, and that there was kind of 3 paths, one straight ahead and one left, one right, but they didn't go out there.
I would suggest to the party that we sort of know that the bushes are the trouble of this case. We found the sort of cause of it, and I think we should address the issue and make our way into the garden. If they agree.
Yeah, that's where I'd be going.
Do we have any info on Craig? Is he gone or is he just temporarily issue?
I'm not sure. Let me have a look. I'll just check the.
On another note, I could be a dad in like 2 hours.
You could indeed.
Honestly, can't wait.
I'm already drinking whiskey, so that's a celebration.
I agree.
No, I haven't got any messages from him. We'll just carry on, I guess.
Took a few minutes, see if anything comes on.
Yeah, can do, yeah. Okay, so you're in the kitchen and you're looking out and you can see the garden in front of you. Forest is so damp and the vines and the bushes are kind of overgrown, so you're almost cutting out the sort of the sky, really. There's a pathway straight ahead. There's one to the left and one to the right.
I will light a torch and have my short sword in the other hand and just sort of take a few steps out into the garden.
Mm-hmm.
I do the same and follow on close behind.
Down the central path, I reckon.
Okay.
I guess. No reason why not.
So you're going straight ahead, are you?
Yes.
Ooh, dun, dun, dun. Oh, there's a bit of fluff here. Okay. Right. Okay, so straight ahead is into clearing E. So as you enter the clearing, you note that it is very dimly lit due to a thick canopy of growth. You see only thick green plants that make up the thick walls of the area. So you're in a kind of like you're in a room inside of this kind of garden sort of thing with thick walls, and the walls of this garden are starting to rustle and move, and you're getting a bit of an uncanny sense of what's going on.
Of course, we can see something sort of moving, but we can't make it completely out still.
Yeah, you can see the walls of the. I don't know how to describe it. So the walls of the room, the walls of the plant room that you're in, are starting to move and rustle.
Can I reach forward with my halberd and wall?
Got to poke the walls.
Yeah, because provoking them worked so well last time.
So yeah, as you reach forward to poke the wall, a kind of like a long viney branch comes out of the wall, but this is about the size and thickness of a person. This isn't like the vines you saw earlier, and it kind of grabs hold of you bodily and slams you. It makes an attack against you, and it is 11 to hit.
That hits.
That hits. Okay. That does 8, 9, 10, 14 damage.
Wow. Okay.
So you are okay, yeah. Right, and then it makes 2 attacks. It makes a multi-attack, this creature, and so another kind of arm, same as the one before, comes out, smashes you again the second time. 19, 26 to hit. And that,
Yes,
that does 10 damage.
Kills me.
Okay, so you're unconscious.
No, I think I'm. You're on death hit, right? Is it more than double total hit points or more double your remaining?
No, it's your total. If you take more than your total, then
Alright, okay.
you die. So you're
So
unconscious.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm down to one. I'm down to 1 hit point because I've got that unkillable thingy.
Okay.
Endurance.
Oh, so your endurance for Half Orc.
Yeah, about this endurance.
Okay, so we're going to roll for initiative. 6.
15.
Initiative. I want to use. Wow, that's bad. 11 for Wrath.
11, okay. What did you get, Carl?
15.
15. Steve? Is he there? Steve, what did you get, mate? No. Craig, what did you get? Hello?
I think Steve's muted himself.
What did you get, Craig?
Oh, can you hear me? I got 5.
5, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, just wait for Steve. So, Carl's up first.
I think his mic's died or something, so it looks like he's holding it up to his mouth and he ain't being able to say a word.
Okay, 1 minute it is. Yeah. Okay.
Nope.
Oh.
He's dropping out.
One word. Sounds like
baby. Right, go on in, Carl. We'll start with you then.
In which case, since I'm not in wolf form at the moment, I would like to cast Flaming Sphere.
Yep.
I'm going to
Hello.
Vine, but it's sort of come in. But I'd like to. Pardon?
What did
Does
you
this
get?
work?
Yeah, we can hear you. What did you get for initiative?
16.
16. Okay, cool.
It's alright, just put me after Carl.
Yeah, that's
he was
right.
already doing something.
Yeah, go. Go on in, Carl. Carry on.
Okay, so yeah, I'll do Flaming Sphere and do it sort of at the route or the furthest away point that I can get away with, that's away from everyone else.
Okay. Go for it.
So, Flaming Sphere puts a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire. That does a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, okay. 0. I got a natural 1, -1 dexterity. 0.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna fail. So it does 2d6 fire damage.
Yep.
That will be 11.
Yep. Any other effects?
And if I've rammed it in as a bonus action, it also, I think, catches it on fire if it's a flammable object, not being worn or carried, but I don't know whether that would count for vines or not.
This isn't a vine as such, so no, it doesn't catch on fire, but it's taken the damage.
It does 11 fire damage.
Okay. So yeah, it's you hit it quite hard, but it's still coming at you. So Ross, you're up.
Is there anything else in a 5-foot radius, would you say? Because everything in a 5-foot radius has to take the dexterity saving throw.
I'd say that probably Mockrell might be, because he was poking it a second ago with his stick, and it's just slammed him twice. So he's in melee with it at the minute.
He's only got 1 health.
Who needs enemies?
Nice.
So you've just set him on fire as well, have you?
Apparently.
I think Craig has to make a dex save.
Yeah, but it takes half damage, so no matter what, it's going to damage him.
It's not even worth me rolling it. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Endurance.
Does it say that you attack everything, or is it
Hold
just?
on, no, not yet, not yet. It says any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet. So he hasn't had his turn yet, so don't worry, ignore that.
Well, he's in melee with it at the minute.
But it's not his turn yet. And it's at the end of his turn that he takes the damage.
Well, unless one of you suddenly wants to learn how to become a doctor, I'm pretty sure at the end of my next turn I'm going to be dead regardless.
I'm technically a doctor, I guess.
Right, come on then, Ross. We'll see what damage the halfling can do then.
He's going to drag Craig out of the 5 foot rather than trying to deal damage.
Oh, okay, so he's going to use his action to grab hold of him and move him out the
Yeah.
way. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
This 3 foot halfling is going to drag my 6'8" orc out of this vibe.
With clever use of leverage and
But the orc's probably half willing, although probably quite disorientated. Kind of stumbles back with you. Okay, that's good. So it's the orc's turn. Mockrell.
only one Craig.
I'm sort of staggering back. There's not really much I'm in any shape to do at the moment, so I'm just going to sort of prop myself up on my halberd.
Oh, but a reach weapon.
I believe it much.
Yeah, it probably is actually. They're quite long, aren't they? I don't know off the top of my head, but
Yeah, it's two-handed though, so I don't know if it counts.
we'll say it is. I don't know for sure, but
Leave it.
I know the sort of weapon it is, so I would have thought it would be.
Very quickly double check in seconds. Because in which case you could hit it and you'd still be out of 5 feet distance because it's a 10.
Yeah. I can't find it in there.
We'll say it is. Go on.
Hold on.
We needn't have bothered. 11.
That's a miss.
It has reach, which means you're out of the 5 feet.
Yeah, cool. He missed though anyway. I think he's still a bit dazed from getting slapped.
The swing at it been around.
Okay. So that makes Raph is up next. Raph the patient.
Trying to be as patient as possible. I will smack it with my quarterstaff two-handed as I have that ability.
Yep.
And I got a natural 20.
Nice.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, quick.
That's 2d8s plus my dex bonus, which is 3. 6, 12, 15.
15, and then roll them again.
No, that is
Oh, you did it,
all
yeah.
the damage.
Well done.
Yeah.
Nice. That was a good hit.
Damn.
Right, okay.
If I had something to heal my half-orc friend, I would, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we have anything yet.
So the hedge seems to come alive, and this creature, probably about the same sort of size as the half orc, comes stumbling out or sort of shambling out of the bushes. It's humanoid-ish in shape. It's got two legs and 2 arms, and it kind of appears to be made of some kind of living bush on legs, and it's kind of growing. It's got a face of kines, I suppose, and it's made up of vines. and it kind of stumbles towards you all, and it's going to take an attack against Ross. Natural 20.
Lovely.
Unfortunately. So that does
Wow.
2d8
Oh my
plus
God.
4, so that's 8, 9, that's 12, and then 12,
Fuck.
16, 17, 18 damage.
Like 18 all in.
18 all in.
I'm on
And-
-8.
Okay. Oh, so you're unconscious.
Looks like I'm unconscious. I'm saving throws time.
Sadly,
Is
because
that
you're...
everyone?
Because of your size, you're also grappled. You do have the opportunity to make an escape if you were conscious, but you're not, unfortunately. So you're grappled by the creature, and it kind of draws you in towards itself and engulfs you. So you're now currently inside the creature, unconscious, which is a bit of a problem.
This could work if I wake up.
Yeah, if you were awake, you'd have opportunities to escape, but it's not looking too good at the minute. So he's got another attack. He's got his second attack, and this one is going to be directed at we'll say a Wrath, and that is 14 plus 18.
That'll hit.
Hits. Okay, 8. Oh my god. 13 damage.
How much?
13.
Can anyone else hear squealing?
1-3.
But okay. I'm on 2 hit points.
Okay. Back round to Seamus.
Okay, hold on. I'm just double checking something.
Damn it! I actually have key points that I can use. Never mind.
What's a key point?
I'm a monk, so I get special abilities.
Ooh, la-di-da. I've never played as a monk yet.
Okay, so can I, as part of my bonus action, slam the flaming sphere, because it says as a bonus action I can move it up to 30 feet or slam it into something. Can I slam it into that massive vine again?
Mm-hmm.
Doing another 2.
I'm inside that massive vine.
No, you're inside the body of it, not the vine of it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Slam it into the vine to do 2d6 fire.
Yeah. So I've got to make a save first.
Hold on.
We've got a deck save.
Yes, actually, it might be mine.
So 18.
Okay, 18 is saved. But that was a bonus action. Can I also cast Thunder Wave at it?
Yep.
So it must make a Constitution saving throw.
So +3 Constitution, 14 +3. So 18.
18. Okay, that's going to save as well.
It still takes damage, though, doesn't it?
Half damage. Oh, yeah, the other one will take half damage from the thing as well on the save throw there. Okay, so let me roll for the fire one a sec.
Yep.
The fire is 5 halved and then rounded down as 2 fire damage.
2. Okay.
And then on the Thunder Wave, it's 2d8, which is 10 halved, which makes 5.
5. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, you've that Thunder Wave hits other people as well, I think, didn't it, normally?
In a 15-foot cube.
So that hits that'll hit the orc Moorland, because he took a ranged hit, didn't he, with the halberd?
Yeah, but isn't he fully obscured because he's inside? Oh no, wait, the halberd one would, but the guy that's inside.
Yeah, the
You
one
can
who's
choose the 15-foot cube.
Ross is inside, so he's okay.
You can choose to angle it in a way that you don't actually hit anybody else. That's what the 15-foot cube's for. Or is it from you?
It comes from you. It's like a blast, a sonic blast of air that comes from the person in a cube.
Ouch.
So Morkrul, who was poking it with his halberd just a second ago, would be caught in that blast.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Automatic fail, I believe.
I did save you for a little while.
You need to make a save, I think.
Yeah, Constitution.
Would be 16.
16 would save.
So I take half damage, which was 5, was it?
Yep.
If you're
Minus 4.
unconscious, if it's unconscious, you automatically fail a death save.
But he's not unconscious yet.
He's unconscious now, isn't he?
But I wasn't previously.
No.
Oh, right, okay.
I had that relentless endurance, which bring me back to 1 hit point.
Yeah. So you're now the sort of blast from that sonic wave has hit the mound, and he's stumbled back a little bit, but not the 10 foot he would have got blasted. But in the process, you've gone unconscious as well. Okay. So Ross, you're currently inside this shambling mound. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
6.
Right. So I don't know if any of you have got a monster manual near you, but as far as I'm aware, you're currently unconscious. You've just failed the saving throw. You take another 13 damage. Any damage that's incurred when you're unconscious is a kill, I think.
It's automatic death saving throw if we're playing 5e rules.
What does that
failed save and damage.
You get 3 saving throws of death and save, and you failed your first death save.
I thought any additional damage when you're unconscious was the end of the road. But yeah, so we'll take it as that, and we'll take you've already failed one then.
Yes.
Yeah, I almost died once before in my other game. So yeah, every time you take damage, it's just a failed saving throw.
Okay.
And you have to make... if you get 3 failed saves by taking damage, you are failing 10 or lower on your saving throw, and you die.
So you
if
need
you
to
get
make
1, that counts as 2.
So you've got 1 already. So now you need to make your death saving throw.
Don't roll a 1.
11.
11 is
Save.
a save. Okay, cool.
So you've got 1 death and 1 save.
Yeah.
Whichever one you get to 3 first.
As you
Holy
gone.
shit.
Okay. Morkland, your turn to make a
I've never
death saving
died
throw.
If I die,
Does
I'm
anybody
coming
know a good
back
funeral
as
director?
We can have a joint funeral and save on costs.
Yeah, well, I suppose you could just fit above my head.
Is that a fail as
What
well?
did you roll?
Yeah?
What did you get?
5.
5, fail. Okay. Right.
At least it's not a 1.
Raf, is a 1's 2 fails, isn't it? And 20 is
Yeah.
wake up, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, 1 hit point.
Raf, you're next.
I am going to spend a key point
Mm.
to do flurry of blows.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Well, what I've got to do is I've got to hit it. Bonus action is to punch it twice with flurry of blows. So it's 3 attacks.
Yep.
First one's a 5, which probably...
Miss.
that's a 10 total.
That's miss.
That's a natural 20.
That's a hit. Crit hit.
Wow. Do you want me to roll attacks first and then damage?
Yeah, do your attacks first, yeah. So you got 1 critical hit.
And a 3, so 1...
Yeah, 1 critical
Hit.
hit then.
which is technically unarmed strike, which is D4s. Lovely. 2D4 plus 3. That's 9 damage.
Okay. Chipping away.
And I'm going to spend my second key point and take the dodge action as a bonus. No, I can't, can I? I just spent my bonus action. Never mind.
That's okay.
I spent 1 key point.
Okay. So, back round to the mound's turn, I believe. Yes. So he's going to lumber slowly over towards Seamus, the Dwarf Druid, and he's going to make a couple of attacks. He's going to make a first attack. Yeah, he's going to make a couple of attacks here. So he has rolled 5 and 7 is 11 and 25.
What was the other one?
25.
Okay, 25 will hit, but 11 will miss.
Okay. 14, 18 damage.
Cool. I am looking pretty battered, but I am barely clinging on.
And it's your turn.
Cool. In which case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on the unconscious half orc, which will instantly save him from being unconscious, and then he'll restore the health back, because if you get any magical healing, that regains your consciousness. So I'm going to cast that at spell level 2. Now, that will be 2d4 plus my wisdom modifier. Which is 6 plus my wisdom, which is 3. So that's 9 health restored to the half orc, and he's awake now.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
Hey, well done.
And I still got my actual action.
Well, that was a spell. That was a spell, wasn't it?
That was a spell. And for my actual action, I would like to use Poison Spray as a cantrip. And I will do that, which is a 1d12 for poison, which hits for no, it doesn't. A Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. 17, 20.
A what?
20.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely going to save then.
Half damage, though, is it?
Not half damage on that one because it's a cantrip for some reason.
Oh, right, okay.
But we've got the half orc up and running now.
Yay! Right, Ross, you need to make a Constitution saving throw. Another fail, and now you need to make your death saving throw. You've got 2 fails, 2 fails and 1 save.
What? So
if you roll
this either I live or die right now.
If you roll 10 or under, you're dead, basically.
No, you know what? Wait. I'm using a different dice.
I would have used my healing on you, but I had to see you, and if you're ingested, I can't see you.
Where is it? I'll use the first dice I ever bought. There we go. Wish me luck, guys.
This requires a drum roll, really.
Bye.
Oh,
3.
3.
we lost the road.
That's my first death ever.
3. So the mound kind of feels a kind of satisfaction as your life drains away from inside, and he kind of reaches inside him and pulls this limp carcass of a halfling and just flings it onto the ground, dead.
Oh God.
That's it.
Hold on, I forgot. That thing he had just ended his turn, didn't it?
Hey?
Oh, fireball.
So next up is Craig Morkland.
Yes. I'm going to sort of get up and I'm going to see this little bundle of halfling on the floor. I'm going to sort of get a glazed look over my face and go into rage as a bonus action.
Oh, good. Yeah, I was wondering. That's good.
I'll go into rage and I'll run up and I'll attack the mound.
Okay.
You better burn him better than you buried that other woman.
Wow. Okay, that would be a 8.
Is a miss.
An 8 to hit.
8 is a miss.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much all I can do, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, are you going to
So I
move
just
away?
sort of
Or you
miss
gonna... Okay. Raph.
I'm not doing much better myself. So I'll attack it again with the quarterstaff because I aim to unarmed strike it for a bonus action.
Okay.
So 2 attacks. That's a 15 for the first strike.
15 hits.
That's 8 damage
Ooh.
for the first.
Yep.
A natural 2 for the second, and I'll use my second key point to do patient defense, which allows me to dodge as a bonus.
Oh, okay, yeah. Right. Okay, so so the mound of bushes sort of stretches back and it looks to you as if it's almost laughing as it points to the corpse of the halfling lying on the floor. It's now going to lumber towards Seamus and make his 2 attacks. First one is 23, and
Just he hears this sort of ghostly voice in his ear, like, "Watch out!"
no. 11 is the second one. That's probably a miss, is it?
Everyone would miss.
So first one, 8, 4, 16, 16, 17, 19, 19 damage.
Yeah, that's gonna knock me out.
Okay, and you become grappled, but you can't make an escape move because you've come unconscious, and so he grabs hold of you and inserts you into his foliage mass, so to speak. You're now engulfed inside the mound. Okay.
Yay.
It's your turn. So make a Constitution saving throw.
Plus 16.
16. Okay.
I've got 6 minutes before I have to disappear.
Okay. Cool. Okay, now you've got to make your death save.
That is an 11, so that is a success. So that is 1.
1 save. Cool. Okay. Do you want to shoot off, Steve? I know you've got a busy night ahead of you.
Yes, I think I may do. I would love to see how this ends, but someone will have to just like give me a short rundown in text.
I'm recording it anyway, so I'll probably upload it at some point. I'll send you the link and stuff, perfect. And you'll be able to watch it if you like.
Spot on, right?
Cool. Best of luck.
See you all later.
Mate. Best of luck. I hope it all goes well.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Congratulations to you.
Nice one. I'll see you all again.
Okay. See you soon, man. Bye. Right.
Good thing he died when he did.
Hey? Oh no. I feel bad.
One death brings new life. There we go.
Exactly, yeah, it's a circle of life, isn't it? One dies and that's it. Morkrell, you're up.
I'm going to sort of spin around, and I believe my rage only lasts for 1 round, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
No.
It might be
more
more
at
at my level.
The 1
minute is every round is 6 seconds.
The rage then.
It lasts for the combat. It'll last for the whole of the combat, probably.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm going to spin around, and I'm going to take another swing at the mound.
Okay.
And that is 13.
13 is a miss.
I'm currently looking like a very sad, useless orc.
Okay, Raph, you're up.
Quarterstaff, smack it in the face.
Yeah.
19.
Hits.
1d6 plus 3. I roll 1. That's 4 damage on the first one.
Okay.
My last key point for flurry of blows, which means 2 unarmed. And that's a 21 for the first and 15 for the second.
Yeah, both hit.
Total damage, I rolled 2 2s.
Oh, 4.
So that's total damage of 10 with both strikes.
Okay. Okay. So,
Sorry, that's a direwolf.
that's it. So he's going to he sort of vanishes back into the hedge, and the hedge starts moving, and there's ripples coming through the hedge, and he pops back out alongside Raph and makes 2 attacks there. 17 and 10.
First one hits.
Okay.
If he does any more damage than
10.
2, I'm down.
10 hit points.
I'm out. 0.
Okay.
You're lucky he can only absorb 1.
Yeah. Go. Okay, next up is Carl to make a Constitution saving throw.
That'll be a 14.
14 is a pass, yep. And then you got to make your death saving throw.
19 as a saving throw, so that's 2 successes.
Oh, you got a good dice, that one. It's working for you.
It's my light blue one.
That's the one you want to be. Yeah, good. That's a good one. That's working all right. So the Barbarian, Mokrel. Craig, you're up. Yep, Mokrel.
Sorry, just a minute.
That's it.
Where is it in relation to me now? Is it still within range?
Yeah, I mean it's quite a small enclosure that you're in. It's currently standing over the unconscious body of Raph. So you can move into range to hit it. It's probably about, I don't know, 10 feet away from you.
How good?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take a run towards it and again swing my absolutely useless broom and miss it again.
Okay. That's a miss.
Yep.
Okay. So we are back to Raph. Time to make a death saving throw.
Death save. I'm so glad it's not a 1. It's a 2.
Hey, that's your first fail. Okay. Right, so the mound, the only one left standing is the orc, so he's going to take his attack against him. And that is 21 and 11.
Both of those hit.
Both hit.
How do you have such low AC, even as an unarmored barbarian?
My dexterity is really low.
So
yeah, but doesn't barbarian get dexterity and something else to make their unarmored?
No, not by not according to the pre-gen thing, lad.
Well, you're not wearing any armor. Your armor class equals 10 plus your dexterity plus your constitution modifier.
Yeah, which would have been 10. But because
So you have no plus constitution and no plus dexterity.
Yeah, my dexterity is -1 and my constitution is +1.
Oh.
Wow.
But because I've got it equals out to 11.
So your first.
I'm currently winning at life.
So the first one did. First one's done 15 damage.
It was nice knowing you all.
You're unconscious again.
How much does the second one do?
The second one does 6.
Wait, did you go down on the first attack?
Oh yeah.
So when did
Should we play it by the proper 5e rules?
When did you go unconscious?
If it's proper 5e rules, if you go down on the first strike, the second strike is an automatic critical, which is 2 death saves, 2 death fails.
That's what we're trying to say. When did you go unconscious?
But we're all unconscious and we can't come back unless the thing wants to leave us for an hour.
Actually, we can come back if one of us does a natural 20.
No, we'll only get stabilized, and then you have an hour of and then
Gives you 1 hit point.
does it?
Yeah.
Cool.
When did you go unconscious after the first attack?
Oh, sorry?
When did your barbarian go unconscious after the first attack?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So the second one is a critical then.
2 death fails.
Yeah.
Do death fails carry over from my previous unconscious?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to string it out with your death saves and see how you all get on, or do you accept your fate?
I'm happy to leave it there.
So I think
I think my orc's been embarrassed enough.
we're calling that a TPK. I think. Okay, so
I rolled a 14, so
So the mound was the reincarnated body of Kurishan the wizard. He'd been working on a spell to reincarnate himself as a lily. Unfortunately, he'd gotten the spell wrong in the last minute, and the treasure you would have found at the end of the game was a crystal. In fact, I can read you the bit at the end. I'll read everyone the bit at the end, and then you'll know what should have happened. Where is it? Perhaps I want a bit then. So anyway, he was working on some magic to reincarnate himself as this sentient lily that could sort of live in peace, but it went wrong, and he ended up as basically a mobile compost heap. He became a shambling mound, which you'll see in the monster manual on page 270. If you'd defeated him, the next chamber that you came to, you were quite lucky in the garden because there were 3 different ways to go. The other 2 ways had combat encounters in them as well. Well, one was a combat encounter with the chief of the village, and the other one was a garden of poisonous flowers that were going to send you all to sleep, and it had a negative effect on all your stats. So you were lucky in getting straight to him, really. If you'd have defeated him, you'd have found that the treasure at the end was a emerald crystal that was the kind of vessel that he used to hold his spirit while the magic was transferring his spirit from his body into the mound, and you would have found a crystal that could have brought you back to life in future, and whatever, and various other bits of treasure and whatnot. So that was the story of Kurishan's garden. So it's
yeah,
but we got total party killed.
Yeah, that's I've not had a TPK in a long time. I've run that adventure about 5 times, I think. So that was
just how close were we to killing them?
You had him down to 67 health points. So you had,
wow, not even vaguely close.
Well, he started on 100.
I just rolled death saves and I would have got to 1 health.
He started on 138. He started on 138, so you took a fair bit off of him actually. But that monster's one of its special features is when it hits you, it grapples you and sucks you inside. And once you're inside, you become sort of blinded and all sorts of things. Yeah, so it's unlucky. It's especially unlucky. So unlucky, but well played. I think going back and fighting all them women probably didn't help. Possibly, but
didn't do much damage to me because I was in Wolfborn. So
yeah, it's true. Yeah, no, I think it's one of those adventures where there's lots of little bits of damage all the way through it, rather than any sort of big lumps. It kind of wears you down a bit, doesn't it? But Well,
if I started at max hit points, I think I would have lasted about 2 more rounds.
yeah, I reckon you could have done
I was
it.
down to half health.
I reckon you could have done it, but at least Steve would be pleased that it wasn't just him. So
Right, I'm going to have to shoot off, but thank you for the game.
that's all right. I'm just